Hello, in today's video we got our 2005 Chevy Colorado, which has had a rough idle for the past few days, and when I ran a scanner on it, has been giving me negative fuel trim readings, telling me that this truck is running somewhat rich at idle. What this indicates is that the computer is trimming down the amount of fuel the injectors are spraying into the cylinders, which could be that we have an issue with our MAF sensor being dirty, since the dirty MAF sensor cannot measure the amount of airflow properly, so it may overestimate or underestimate airflow. Yet it could also be caused by other things like a problem with our oxygen sensor, fuel pressure being too high from a bad fuel pressure regulator, or leaking injectors. But the easiest and more likely problem in this scenario will be an issue with our MAF sensor. And since it hasn't been touched at all since we've owned the truck, this video will be about inspecting it, what to look for, and cleaning it if necessary. And they should be cleaned at least once every other time that we replace the engine's air filter, because they do get dirty, especially if it's a higher mileage vehicle with a lot of blow-by. Or also, if you use an oil-coated air filter like the K&N filters, these oils and dirt can contaminate this MAF sensor and affect its operation. And these steps in this video may also be helpful if you're getting MAF Sensor Performance Codes or System Tooling Codes. And it'll normally be located just behind the airbox or the air filter, and is either clamped in between two hoses with the housing, or with two screws attaching it as in our case. Well, let's go ahead and remove it. Our first step will be disconnecting the electrical connection by pressing down on the tab to release the connector. Normally this will have a gray lock clip that you'll need to slide back, but it's not here now. Now for the screws, we'll need a 5.5mm socket. Rotating them counterclockwise just till they're loose. Now remove the rest by hand or use the socket for a better grip. Once you get the screws out, the sensor can just slide out. And here we got our mass airflow sensor. The function of this sensor is to measure the amount of airflow going into the vehicle's engine, and before the sensor would be solely a mass airflow sensor, but now on newer models, they've been integrated with an intake air temperature sensor, which is that sensor here on the left. Then you got these two small resistors in the middle, which the computer uses to measure airflow, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. And by the look of them, they're pretty dirty. They got a lot of dirt covering them, and even a little wire strand stuck to one of them. But based on how dirty these are, they were definitely affecting its performance. And the way it works is, one of these resistors is heated, yet the other is not, and when air flows past the resistor, it cools it down, so its resistance goes down with it, which in turn allows more current to flow through the wire circuit, yet the voltage doesn't change, but the current does. So as more current flows, the wire's temperature increases, and it continues this way. This current increase or decrease is in proportion to the mass of air flowing past the wire, so these changes in readings on the output side allow us to determine its function and how it's reacting to the airflow. But now when they're covered in dirt or oils, this layer over the resistor does not allow it to perform as it should, and that's what we're going to clean to allow it to once again be able to read our incoming airflow properly. So to begin, we'll need some mass airflow cleaner, which is safe for electronic sensors like this one, and will also dry quickly. You'll also want to make sure that we wear eye protection for safety. These resistors are pretty delicate, with a thin wire holding them. So what we want to do here is spray the cleaner, but you don't want to get too close. This will prevent it from putting too much force on the resistor's wire. So we keep back a little and try to clean both of the resistors solely with our spray. Also doing the same from the underside, so you try and clean the resistor all around. Now that we're done cleaning it, we let it dry. And here is our result. Definitely looks so much better. Once it's completely dry, we then install it back onto the vehicle. Normally they'll only go in one way, to avoid being installed improperly, but you want to make sure that the airflow direction is pointing towards the engine. Now we can install our two screws, and just very lightly snug them up with the ratchet. Followed by the connector. All we got left now is turning it on, and hopefully fixes our issue. which after driving it a few days, I can consider it resolved. And with that, we complete our video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. If so, please click that thumbs up button to support my video and my channel. And please subscribe if you haven't done so.